What should you do when you can't sleep at night? This question sits at the center of insomnia. You wake up or can't fall asleep. So now the mind asks, what should I do? Should I get out of bed? Should I stay in bed? Should I read? Should I meditate? Should I do breath work? Should I try harder? Should I stop trying? The moment this question appears, the night turns into a problem to solve. And once the brain believes there's a problem to solve, it is now on high alert and it's activated. Heart rate increases, thoughts intensify and accelerate. Monitoring and scanning the environment begins. This is how insomnia maintains itself. Not because you're awake, but because wakefulness becomes something that must be handled. Let us look at this from a medical perspective first. Sleep is not something we force. Sleep happens when the brain perceives safety and sleep pressure is present. Two systems guide this process: your circadian rhythm, which regulates timing, and your sleep pressure, which builds the longer you're awake. When those systems are working normally, sleep appears naturally. But insomnia introduces another factor: hyperarousal. This means the nervous system is operating in protection mode. The brain believes the threat is present, so it increases alertness. When that state is activated, sleep becomes difficult, even when the body is tired. So when someone asks, what should I do when I can't sleep? The usual answers involve techniques like get out of bed, read a book, listen to meditation, drink tea, try breathing exercises. The list can be endless. These things can sometimes help people relax, but they do not address the real driver of insomnia. Because the core issue is not what you're doing, it is what wakefulness means to the brain. When the brain labels wakefulness as danger, the nervous system protects you, and protection mode is incompatible with sleep. So the goal is not to find the perfect activity at night, especially when all we want to do is sleep. The goal is to change the relationship with wakefulness itself. When you can't sleep, nothing has gone wrong. You're simply awake. Efforts to try to make sleep happen simply create more pressure. The moment the brain stops treating wakefulness as an emergency, the nervous system has space to settle again. Sometimes that settling leads to sleep. Sometimes it doesn't. But the important change is this: when the urgency to sleep begins to ease, the brain no longer treats the night as a problem to solve. And when the brain stops reacting to the night as a problem, the nervous system settles. That is when the pressure around sleep begins to fade and the night loses its power. So what can you do at night if you're awake? You can lie there and rest. You may get up and read. You can go sit on the couch. But really, none of these actions are right or wrong. What matters much more is the mindset behind them. If the action is done to fix sleep, the brain remains in problem-solving mode. If the action is done simply because you're awake, the nervous system receives a very different message: safety. And safety is the condition that sleep requires. This is why insomnia recovery does not revolve around techniques. It revolves around perception. When wakefulness stops meaning catastrophe, the brain no longer needs to protect you from it. And that is when sleep appears naturally. The question is no longer, what should I do when I can't sleep? The question becomes, how do I relate to wakefulness tonight? That shift removes the pressure the brain has been reacting to. If you want to go deeper into this process, if you want to go deeper into this perspective and learn more about the approach I use to help people move through insomnia, you can download my free sleep guide in the link below. And if this video helped you understand insomnia in a different way, post your comments or questions below. Each video in this series answers the most common questions about insomnia, so you can move from fear back to trust in your ability to sleep. I'll see you next time.